from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now my whole team in.
Good morning, guys. So I'm here at work. Let me wipe this camera off. So I'm here at work, working some overtime. So I was just watching one of my friend's videos, and he just left and went to the Philippines. And he's looking at some land over there. Like most people when they leave here and go to the Philippines, you know, they're looking into buying some land. And me and my wife we're going to do that too. But you have to really be financially stable. Let me turn this on. You have to really be in a good position to go to another country and make sure you have a decent income. I'm trying to fix this camera. And make sure you have a decent income. Because if not, it could be very hard for you. So that's why I'm really doing all this investing. That's why I'm learning. I'm like diving really deep into learning about stocks and cryptocurrency, which I studied and learned about cryptocurrency for like 2 years. Well, it's probably been like 5 years now, but the first 2 years when I studied, I had no clue what it was. I was so confused. And I really dove deep into it and studied it. And this is when really no one knew. A lot of people didn't even know anything about it. What is that? I don't know, something's in here making noise. I have no idea what it is. But, hold on, guys. Find out what this noise is. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was my Lysol can vibrating. But anyway, so it's a big benefit to you to not get caught up into the same cycle as far as waking up, going to work, go home and do whatever, then you wake up and do it again. And the only thing you're doing, and believe it or not, just people out there that do this, when they get their money, they're not doing nothing with it. Like, they just get their paycheck, and sometimes you know, the paycheck is just enough to pay the bills. But I look at it like this: if you can afford to go buy yourself a meal of $5 every day, and I've seen people come in here every day, and lately I've been doing it too, but there's people that's been here for a long time, and I can tell they're barely getting by, but they don't bring any food to work. They're always at the snack machine, and then they go out for lunch and buy lunch. So they're probably spending, you know, a decent meal, maybe $5 or $6, and then if you get something out the snack machine, that's almost $2 or $3. So probably by the end of the day, they're gonna spend $8, $9, $10 or whatever every day. And just think about, if you cut one of those off, cut one of them items off, save the money for the whole month, for a whole 30 days, and put that into the stock market, or put it into some type of crypto. And then you can put it in a stable stock market that's have a proven track record that goes up and down every year, but it's steady going up. But to make a long story short, the whole point is you gotta don't do the normal thing that most people do, because if you stay like that, you're gonna stay like that. And sometimes you got to push yourself to get to that next level. And that could be, that could apply to anything that you're doing. Like when I was growing up, this is when music was changing a lot. There was like a lot of breakdancing, and I was into hip hop and rap. My brother was really into rap, so he can write really good. So, and then I was watching when I watch all these artists on TV, back then MTV was out. And MTV was a little different than what it is now. And I was watching the artists, right? And back then there was a DJ. A lot of them have a DJ. But the DJ was all the way in the back. And they kept him in the shadows. And I would see this all the time. Like, why do they have the DJ way back there? So that made me think like what is the DJ's job? What do they do? How does it work? How does it function? And so I told myself, you know what? When I grow up, I want to be a DJ. So when I got in high school, and I worked at this secondhand store, a pair of turntables came through. So I asked my boss, hey, can I buy those? He said, sure. So he left them in the back room, and he let me buy those. They weren't the best turntables, but they were okay, right? And I had no clue about DJing and what kind of turntables to buy, but I knew I wanted some turntables, so I bought those. Then second, I bought some speakers that came in. They were really nice. They were like Crown Vega speakers, so I bought those. And those were more of like a house stereo speaker. But I bought those, and I took that stuff home and I set it up, and I was still staying with my mom, and I practiced and I practiced and I practiced every day. I got home, I practiced and I practiced, and I try to figure out how do they mix the songs together, how do the DJs scratch and all this stuff. And I was slowly figuring this stuff out, and it took some years and years. And then I got my first DJing gig, and it was at school. It was like a homecoming dance. And I was like, this is my first party. And I was very, very nervous, because I was like, what if I mess up? What if it doesn't work out? So I did that, and I really enjoyed it. So it made me want to do it even more. So as the years went on, I sold that equipment, and I upgraded my equipment to like the best, some of the best equipment, like the best turntables. I just went on and said, no, I'm not going to get this knockoff cheap version of Technique turntables. I'm just going to go ahead and go right in and get the best, because I gotta, like, as I was DJing, I'm like, this is not working. Like, the equipment didn't have the power that I wanted, and I knew I needed that. So I sold that, and I bought Techniques. I bought one, and then as my job went on and I got more money, I bought two, and then I sold my other equipment, and then I bought then I upgraded my speaker system, and then I upgraded my amp. Then I was pretty much good to go, and I got a mixer. So I was pretty much good to go on that. And then I started getting more and more gigs, more and more gigs. And then that made me think, like, if I can push myself to do that and learn how to do it, like, I was really good at it, and I'm still good at it. I hadn't did it in a while, but I can DJ. I started DJing weddings, I started DJing school events, I started DJing birthday parties, and then my second thing was, okay, after I learned how to DJ, I want to DJ in a club, and then after that, I want to DJ for a group. And that's what I told myself back then. So I made it to where I'm DJing parties. The second thing was I wanted to get in clubs. And the way I got into clubs, let me turn it off. The way I got into clubs, a lot of people, when I went into clubs, right, you have to sometimes put yourself in that environment, and you have to keep going there, keep going there, keep going there, and keep going, get to know the DJ. And I got to know the owner, and I even did things as far as like trying to get your foot in the door. Like sometimes you gotta do stuff for free just to get your foot in the door, and you gotta start knowing those people. If you want to be in that kind of environment, you have to know those people. So you get to know those people. I start knowing the DJs. I start getting familiar with all the DJs, and then the main club DJ start introducing me to other people, other DJs. And I carried records for a very long time for another DJ, very long time. And I will always say, hey, can I play a little bit, like at the beginning of the night where really no one's there? He's like, okay, I'll let you get on. And that was said, he kept saying that over and over and over. But you know, the club get hyped and the DJ wants to perform, so of course I didn't get up and I didn't get to play because he wanted to play. So, but I still continue to carry records, go to those clubs. I got to know the owners and everything. And then, you know, I would talk to the owner, hey, is there any other night that you want to start up that you need a DJ? Let me know. And he's like, okay, well, I was thinking about a Thursday night, so I'll let you know on that. So finally the DJ one night said, hey, well, he said, hey, Underground. They used to call me DJ Underground. Hey, Underground, come here. Let me, I'm gonna go to the restroom and I'll be right back, but I need you to take over. And I was like, huh? Now? And I was so nervous. My hands were shaking. When I got up on the stage and got in the DJ booth, he put the record on for me. He said, after this, you can play these records right here. I was so nervous. I was so nervous when I put the needle on the record, my hand was shaking and scratching the record. So I played with a packed house, and I was nervous, but I still did it because I forced myself because I wanted to do it. And most of the time when you're like nervous and scared, you don't do it. You know, your body won't allow you and your mind won't allow you to do it because you're scared. But I forced myself because that's what I wanted. So then I became really good at DJing. After that, it was a wrap. So the moral of the story is, if you are scared to do something and you don't do it, you're never going to do it. If you want to do something, and you think like, man, I want to do that, man, I want to do that, and you don't do it, you're never going to do it. Not even if you attempt to. And that works with stocks and investing. If you don't attempt to put money into the stock market, you're never going to do it. And it could be a scary feeling to see your money. You put in money here, your money go up, and you're like, oh, I'm making money. Then it drops way back down here, and you're ready to sell before it comes all the way back down because you want your money back. But normally the cycle is like that, like up and down. You have your up and downs, and that's with anything. But a lot of time it goes like this. It'll do like that. So that's just a comparison of that and investing into stock markets or investing into anything that you want to do. I know this story is kind of all over the place, but I just wanted to talk about that. And I'm about to go back to work here in a second. I wanted to bring that up and talk about that because I see a lot of people do that. And like you hear people say, oh, I wish I know what I know now back then. and I'll be rich. Yes, exactly. But if you don't start learning this stuff when you're younger and put yourself out there and do it, you're going to end up being 50, 60 years old trying to get to the point where you want to be when you should have been there like when in your 30s. And now that you're older, you got to push harder just to get to that point. So don't never think that you can't get to that point, because you can. You just got to put yourself there. All right, guys. So that was just a short story in a comparison on like how to push yourself and be motivated to do whatever you want to do. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing, okay? And don't be scared. Don't be scared to do what you want to do, and don't be afraid of what people think, because people are going to think all kind of things, and people going to say, oh, they may laugh at you. Just do what you want to do, okay? All right, guys, I'm gonna drink my cup of coffee, and see you in the next one.